Hi everyone, I'm Victoria, your union president, and I'm here today with Liam King, who is the manager of the BCUSU Advice Centre. Hi Liam, thank you for giving us your time. So my first question to you is, what do the Advice Centre advise on?
Well, we advise on the three main areas. The one that we get the most questions about, so it's around about 2/3, is to do with course-related issues. So that can be having an extension, that can be things like appeals if you're not happy with an aspect of your assessment, or it could be the not so nice stuff like disciplinaries, complaints, and that sort of thing. That's the main area. The second biggest area we advise on is housing. So that's everything from where to look for accommodation, getting your contract checked, if you've got issues maybe with your landlord, and then at the end moving out, making sure you get your deposit back. And then the third main area is stuff around money, particularly student finance, making sure you've got the funding you're entitled to, or if you need extra money, anything else, and we can advise on that. Those are the three main areas, plus we do other bits and pieces around things like employment and maybe things like consumer as well, consumer law.
Awesome. Okay, and so how do students access the Advice Centre?
Okay, so initially, the best way of accessing us is through, we've got on our website, there's a link to a very short form where you just put a couple of brief details in about yourself, and then you just tell us what the issue is, give us some times when you're available, and then we arrange for an advisor to give you, it's normally a telephone call to start with, but if you'd prefer it via email, or if you want it face to face or via sort of a video chat like this, we can do any of those. And then once we've dealt with the initial inquiry, if you still need advice after that, again, it's whatever's going to be most convenient for you. We can advise you that way. But if you don't go through the website, you can always go through when you arrive at the university or school office, or ask at one of the student union reception points as well.
Awesome. And third question, why is it that BCUSU have an Advice Centre?
That's a very good question. The university also has its own sort of support and advice services, but we deal with certain specific issues and topics because we're independent from the university. So if we just go back to the things we were talking about, so for instance, if a student wishes to appeal or complain, or maybe they're being disciplined, then it makes sense for them to be able to go somewhere where they know that they're getting independent advice, that the advice is in their best interests. So therefore we're not a university service, obviously we're independent and employed by the students' union. Same goes for things like housing. So if you're in maybe a contract with the university and you've got an issue there, again, you can come to us and get independent advice. So yeah, that's the main reason.
And last question, but by no means least, what would you say are the top tips for our potential incoming students?
Okay, yeah, as new students, I would say the main thing, and this can be maybe quite a boring thing to have to do before you start, but it's really, really important, and that's around sort of budgeting, money management. In particular, I'd recommend, if you've got any concerns about money before you come, then do a budget. There are budget planners, again, from our website. You can get links to really good budget planners. But yeah, make sure you, wherever possible, you've got enough money to meet your rent and other things. Number two, I would say with housing contracts. So whether that's with university halls, private halls, or if you're going into the private sector, make sure you understand your tenancy agreement, your contract. That is a legally binding contract, and so mostly it's not very easy to get out of. So make sure you read, understand it, and know that basically that's where you're going to be living for pretty much the whole year. And third one I'd say is just the usual stuff about, you know, settling in, making friends. I would recommend joining things like clubs and societies through the Students' Union, volunteering. There's lots of things you can get involved in. It will really help you sort of settle down and hopefully enjoy your year.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Liam. So again, was Liam the manager of the BCUSU Advice Centre. You can find out more by going to bcusu.com/advice. Thank you so much for seeing this video. Bye-bye.
Bye.